Well, hello and welcome to the channel. For the 2 or 3 of you that subscribe already, welcome back. This is our video. We're going to be assembling the Woodland Mills HM122 that I bought here on our remote property. It's going to be a challenge because I don't own a tractor with a loader, which I think I talk about here again in a few minutes. But just wanted to tell you that if you're looking for the typical Woodland Mills setup video, somebody's got a tractor with a loader, they just haul everything around, put it in place. That's not us. But if you're on a budget like we are, then this might be the video for you if you want to get a sawmill. I'm not saying we're going to do it perfect, but you can definitely learn from our mistakes and do it the right way, right? So welcome to the channel, and yeah, well, let's get started. Okay, so we're back at our property where we're going to put the mill up and do all the things. And so now what we're dealing with is trying to get the actual mill out and set up and all that stuff. So right now, this is kind of where it's going to go right here. You see I've got all that. In fact, let me turn around this way. So you can see all this stuff is set up right here. There's this flat area right here. That's where the mill is going to go. And so my problem is, and part of the reason why I'm doing this is because not the mill, but the videos, is because we're on a real budget. Like, I see all of these YouTubers out there who've got, $25,000 log loader or a $20,000 tractor or any of those things. Well, that's not us. So we're legitimately on a budget, and I don't even own a tractor, as a matter of fact. So my issue is going to be, there is the mill inside the U-Haul trailer. I got to get that thing out, turned, lay down the power head so that I can, that's not a power head, lay down the mill head so that I can build the frame around the mill head, eventually stand it up. How we're going to do that, I'm not 100% sure yet, but I'll let you know when I figure it out. Before we can do any of that, though, I got to get these concrete blocks down here all set and leveled out so I can build the rail system. I have an idea for how I'm going to get that mill head up on the rails, but you'll get to watch and laugh and maybe learn from my mistakes if you're trying to do this without a tractor. So without a tractor with a loader, by the way. It's easier with the tractor with a loader. If you don't have a loader, if you just have a tractor and no loader, then it's not going to do you any good either. But I think I've got a way to do it. I guess we'll see. So, okay. So here goes nothing. We're going to try and get it set up and ready to go. I may not film the hilarity of trying to get this thing out of the trailer, but we'll definitely film the rail setup and assembling the head and standing it up and all that stuff. So, all right. So we were able to get the main crate of the mill off the trailer. You can see it right there. I got it laid sideways across the end. This is where the track is. Let me see. Let me come back here. This is where the track is going to start and going to come forward. Now I have the head oriented in the way that I want it to be. So we'll actually be, that's the end of the track. The beginning of the track will be up here in front of me. So that's the goal. Right now, I can tell you, the only way we're able to get this thing off this trailer is with my secret weapon. My secret weapon is that. I don't have a tractor with a loader. What I do have is a lawnmower, a riding lawnmower that somebody took the belly mower off of. And so they sold it very, very cheap. And that's what I use to pull logs around the property. That's what I use to pull this thing off the trailer. You can see it does the job. It doesn't do it pretty sometimes, but it definitely does the job. So our task over the next few hours is to get the track laid. I've got a bunch of, if you can see, hang on, right there, I got a bunch of concrete block. We're gonna put those concrete blocks down to level the track, and then we'll get the track built. And then I don't know if we'll get to the mill head today or if we'll be able to do it tomorrow. It's getting late in the day, and it is freaking freezing here. It was 29 degrees this morning, which for a boy from Florida is not the best thing to wake up to. However, we may do, and we're gonna make sure that this thing is up and milling by the end of the day tomorrow. So that's the goal. We can be cutting up some logs. You can see I got some logs already over there that we had stripped and planned to use for something else, but let's be honest. I mean, a wood mill needs some wood to mill. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mill me one of those logs, the one with the least amount of taper, because I don't have a toe board, and create some boards on our first try. So welcome to our adventure. Go. Okay, so here's what we got so far. Whole lot of nothing. We got the cement blocks in place. We have the rails in place. I'm about to start assembling the rails. It took me so long to do this. It's been like 3 hours to get this far because I thought I had to level the cement blocks like an idiot instead of remembering that we're going to use the feet on the rails to level. So the cement blocks are pretty close to flat. But they're not 100% level. We'll level with the feet of the rail system. So this is where we are. Next step is I gotta finish assembling the rails. Hopefully I can get that done quickly. Hopefully we can have that done pretty quick, which should leave room for all day tomorrow to assemble the mill head and get it up onto the rails. What do you see how we do that? All right, one down, 600 to go. All right, we're back at it this morning. We just have to square up this rail back here and tighten everything down, and then we're good to go. All right, so we now have all the feet in place. I'm beginning the leveling process. It's a pain in the butt because it's so low to the ground. But what I did was I put a 2x4 on top of this. I leveled this bunk, put a 2x4 on top of it, leveled that bunk, put a 2x4 on top of it. We checked, we ran a string line with the line level to make sure that we're level front to back. And then we measure, because the 2x4 is actually 1.5 wide, we measure between the top of each bunk and the string, and we're looking for 1.5 inches. If it's more than 1.5 inches, then it needs to come up. If it's less than 1.5 inches, then it needs to go down. So right now, those 3 bunks in the middle all need to come up quite a bit, about a full inch. This bunk is about 1/2 inch, and the second bunk down there is about 1/2 inch. So we got a little dip in our rail. But we're very close to having everything leveled. It's all square. We did all that. This track is the bane of my existence. It really sucks, but I know you have to get it right, because if you don't get the track right, then your wood comes out wavy. Because if it's up and down or has the track spreads apart at sections, then the wheels will ride differently, causing the blade to cut differently. So this has to be perfect in order for the sawmill head to do what it needs to do, the bandsaw blade. All right, next step, bringing all the bunks where they need to be. Yay. All right, so finally, you'll notice the sun is very much lower in the sky, but my track is complete. I know some of those bricks look a little, you know, wonky, but trust me, it is level and it is straight. We did all the measuring, and if you look at it from the right angle, you could see that. However, this sucker is ready for the mill head. So tomorrow, the whole point of tomorrow is going to be getting that mill head built with its frame and getting it onto the track. How? Still haven't figured it out yet, but I'm pretty resourceful, and I'm going to do my best, and I'm sure we're going to get it up there. So stay tuned. Next part coming soon. All right, here we are, day 3, the afternoon of day 3. We had a whole bunch of stuff to do in the morning. That's a whole other story, 4x4s and U-Haul trailers. But the track is set as we finished yesterday, as I already told you just a few seconds ago in your video, but a whole, like, I don't know, 12 hours ago or more in reality. So remember I told you I don't have a tractor with the loader to lift this mill head up and set on the track. So we're going to do things with a little creative ingenuity. The instructions say to have the mill head 6 inches off the ground for assembly so that you can get all the wheel parts and everything on. The mill head by itself is, look at the mill head. The mill head by itself is not that heavy. So what we're going to do is put it up on this dolly, slide it across there, lift it up onto these 2 stacks of lumber, which are 6 inches off the rails, so that when we assemble the cage that goes around the mill head, we should be able to rock it on the stack of lumber back to pull the other stack of lumber out, then set the wheels down on the track, put some clamps in front of them, rock it forward, and get the other stack of lumber out. That's how it should work. Now, understandably, once this thing is assembled, it weighs a freaking ton. That's why everybody uses a loader to lift it up and put it on the track. Again, we are the bargain basement millers. We don't have that many resources to have a tractor here with a loader. So that's why we're doing it this way. I did say that I would share with you my experiences. First of all, if you're like me and you're on a budget doing this, just know that track assembly will make you hate your life. It's gonna suck. If I'd had it my way, if I had the resources I needed, a tractor with a loader, I would have used the loader, scraped this ground flat, or maybe even built a platform to put it on, because once you're on level ground, everything is simple. But leveling and squaring this thing on uneven ground is kind of, like I said, it makes you hate your life. It's a good thing I really want to run this sawmill, because otherwise I would not be a very happy camper. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to get the mill head onto the dolly, slide it across the dolly, lift it up and onto the wood stacks, assemble it, and then using leverage, we all learned about levers in physics in high school, right? So using leverage, we're going to be able to rock it forward onto the tracks, pull out the wood, and everything's going to go correctly. Maybe. I'll let you know in the next video. All right, so what we did was we moved the head onto the track flat, and we did the first part of the assembly up until it tells you to stand it up. Now when it tells you to stand it up, it says do not set it on the track yet. So what we did was I leaned it back on the 2x, I actually picked it up so we could pull the 2x6 stack of wood out. That's 4 2x6s. Bring it around and put it in the front. And then I picked up, I pushed forward on this, so it was leaning on the 2x6 stack, and my wife slid the 2x4s underneath the front. So now we're standing up for the rest of the assembly, but we're not on the wheels aren't on the track, which is the requirement in the instructions. In fact, if you come around here, you can see the front wheels even are also not on the track, or not on the wood. So the wheels can move and do whatever they need to do as we continue to assemble the frame around the mill head. And yes, this is the correct direction. You'll notice that the port for the exit is on the same side as the log stops. So all of my sawdust will be going that way, and we'll load logs from this side. All right, there it is. Totally rolls and no issues, no binding, which means the track is straight and square. All the things are assembled. Now the only thing that's left to do is level the actual blade itself, add oil and gasoline to the engine, make sure the blade is tracking correctly, and that's it. But I think we're going to save all of that till next time, because we're pretty close to when we need to be packing everything up to get out of here. So that's it. That's how you do it. Those 4 stacks, what we ended up doing was rocking the head back. We pulled out the front stack. We lowered those front wheels onto the track. Then which it was already leaning because the back wheels were still on the second stack. Then we rocked it towards the front, pulled out the second stack, put the wheel down on the track, and we were good. Definitely takes at least 2 people to be able to do that, but we did it, just me and my wife. We were able to make it work. Oh yeah, you got to cut that little piece of wire too, so the thing will start working. The hour meter will start working. Yeah, so we're gonna cover it up, leave it here in this location. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. I'll level the head, check the tracking, oil and gasoline in the engine, and we'll mill our first log, and I'll make sure and make a video of that. So this is assembling a sawmill, a Woodland Mills HM122 7 horsepower on a budget with no tractor and no loader, more important. And we were still able to get everything done. Track square, straight, everything rolling the way it should. All right, we'll see you next time.